All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the second presentation in the August month of Getting in the Groove, back to school webinars for Slidesgo users. Today's is creating presentations that adapt to individual needs and learning styles. We are we're here today with Carmen Gonzalez, who has worked also with Claudia Corrales, who's on this call, to create this presentation for you. My name is Elisa. I'm your Slidesgo Educator Community Manager, and I have decided to join Slidesgo after 10 years in the education technology space because I am just over the moon with the opportunity to have teachers be the storytellers that they want to be and providing the tools so that that can happen. Carmen, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, for sure. So, hi, my name is Carmen. Same as Claudia, I'm a director at Slidesgo. I've been here for 2 years, wonderful 2 years actually. And I'm going to be the one that guide you through this presentation today. So, shall we start?
Yeah, before we do, there should be a little button in the bottom right for asking a question. Is that there, Claudia? I see you nodding. It's there? Yes. Great. I will just ask that if there are any questions, that you plug them into that button so that we are able to see them all, because that could be good information. And that's it for me. Carmen, take it away.
Okay, so as Alisa was saying before, in this presentation, we are going to talk through how to create presentation that adapt to individual needs. And so to do that, I would like to introduce you to Thomas. So he's going to be our pupil during this webinar, and we are going to look at him when talking about special needs. So we have an example, and we know what we are going to create. So Thomas is a 14 years old student, and he's struggling to understand history lessons. As I said, he's in middle school, and he's typically a hardworking student, and he's very good at almost everything, but not for history. So what's going on with him when we talk about history? So the problem that he's having is that he struggles to establish connection between past events and the relevant to the present. He's also facing some reading comprehension, so that makes him to be very not motivated when staying at class. So these are the main things that we are going to work through this webinar. So he's at middle school, he had some reading comprehension problems, and his lack of motivation it's now a problem for the teachers. So what is he like? He has natural curiosity about the world around him, and he's enjoying asking questions. So we can say that he is also very creative. He likes to do art projects, writing, and hands-on projects. And he is also a very sociable student, so he loves doing group activities. So we can work through this when we talk about Thomas, and we know what he likes and what he's not very into. So we are going to go through a method that will help us to teach our lessons in a way that everyone understands. So in this method, we are going to work with planners. So this is what it mostly looks like. In the first one, we are going to talk to what are we teaching and the way we deliver the information. In the second one, how we receive the information from the kids. And in the last one, we are going to see a way that we can get these kids to improve during the school year. So first of all, as we said before, Thomas is he's struggling with history. He's not good at reading comprehension. So maybe something that can be useful for him is to relation the history lesson we are talking about with another subject that he's very into. As we saying earlier, he's very into arts. So maybe if we are talking about industrial revolution, we can explain him industrial revolution through art. So in this way, we can create a presentation that it's very visual, and so he can learn about this topic in a different way. So the good thing about using this type of presentations is that, as I said earlier, they are very visual, they are very attractive, they are very appealing, the content is very well organized, and for sure he will be enjoying more if he's having something related to things he likes. But as well, maybe if that's not enough, or if he's not very focused or not very into that, maybe it's better to have something more focused on the subject we are talking. So maybe we can create a presentation that it's also very attractive, but the content is very well structured. So for instance, this one, the colors are very appealing, the structures are very well organized, it has maps, text, it has also pictures. So this will have him guiding through the whole presentation. And so these ones are two examples that we can work on when this is happening to a kid that is having a lack of motivation during the class. So if he is struggling with perception, maybe we can try to use something very visual and attractive, as I said earlier. Also, showing the history through facts can be very joyful for them because they can see the content in some context, real. But also, it's important to emphasize about the ideas we want to communicate with them, and so they know why are we showing the Industrial Revolution through art. Why are we showing them art? Because we want them to understand in the end what's about the Industrial Revolution. So it's important as well to have them know what are they going to learn and what they have to learn in the end. So that's the easy part. But what about when they need to do an exam and they are not very appealing to do an exam, or they don't feel very comfortable to have watch, and they have to do something in just a period of time and they don't feel comfortable? So what can we give them to create something more dynamic and they feel more comfortable? So we have some alternative solutions for that instead of doing an exam. So maybe they can create their own storybook, so they can write about the history. So we know that they have got the idea, the overall idea of what we are teaching them. So something like this can be very helpful. In our website, we have plenty of templates such as this one. You can change the color, fonts, you can change the illustrations, you can add pictures, you can do wherever you need. And so this is also an A4 vertical format, so that means that you can print it, and also you can draw into it, you can give it to your colleagues, you can play with it. So this is something that it will help them to be more it's going to be more appealing for them for the learning progress.
And then just to be clear, that's the available, like just typing in the same search bar as you would for templates?
Yeah, for sure. You can actually look for storybooks or storybook, whatever you are more comfortable with. And so you will have all the storybook that we have now on our website.
Thank
and
you.
Also, you can do it through searching in the education tab over here. So another type of activity that we can give them to the kids, maybe creating their own book review. So this is quite interesting because you can see if they have get all the knowledge that we are trying to teach them, if they create like their own exam, and then maybe they can share it with their colleagues and they can play with it all together. They can do group activities, and the great thing about this is you can use this type of template for all the subjects that you want. You can put the key recommendations. You can add all the information that it's relevant to the topic we are talking to. This one is actually what I think it's the most funny one to do for kids. And then for sure we have the presentation option. So they can create their own presentation and they can present it in front of the people of their class. And so they can do like the proper teacher-student activity where they are explaining to their colleagues. And this one is also very fun because they get part of the group, and it's something that, like we were saying, our kid Thomas, he likes to do group activities, so this one can be very funny to also interact with their colleagues. So something like this can be very helpful. We have plenty of them in our website, so I invite you to look for them. And so the options for this can be to play with not only paper, but also computer or tablets. So it means that we don't limit to just one thing, so they have more choices. As well, we can play with presentations, exam, worksheets, as I was saying before. But also it's important, as I was saying in the first step, that they need to know the goal that we are asking for. So they need to know what we are expecting from them. So they can just play and do a presentation. The presentation needs to be great. They need to have all the information because we are giving them like a chance to see if they are getting all the knowledge. So it's important they know what they actually need to do. And so why we do it this way? So the way we do this type of methods is to see if they are able to reach the content the way we want and in a way that it's suitable for everyone. Depending on their needs or not, they are able to learn. So
yeah, the whole idea is that we, or putting myself in teacher's shoes right now, we're delivering a lesson. We're sharing, there's information that our students need to know as part of this section. Okay. With the method that you're sharing with us right now, we're agnostic, essentially, about how the student takes that information in and shares back their understanding. Is that essentially?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And then in this third step, we are confirming with the student, it's kind of like a meta understanding for the student of why they learned it that way. Is that what's happening right now?
Yeah. So in this part, what we are trying to do is we try to give a follow-up to see if they have get all the information right. So if we are teaching him a history lesson or during the year and we know that he's struggling with that specific subject, maybe we can tell him to do a diary. So we can go through this diary afterwards with him and see if he's getting all the information. So this will work with a planner like this one. So we can have a record if he's learning, if he's not, and we can use it for following activities as well, because we will know what his needs are in the specific subject we are talking. So this will help us then on the first step to choose the right activity, and then in the second step to choose the right way that they deliver the information to us. So it is like a cycle. But also, for instance, if we create something more playful, like a portfolio, maybe they can show us their the way that they have been feeling during the whole year, so they can create like a portfolio, so not only just one subject is set up, but also maybe all of the course. This is also very helpful for them to keep them organized, so it will help them to their needs, and so we will try then to help them to the year, then they are learning, they keep motivated. So the main purpose is to have them motivated and they keep learning.
I like that. It's more of a bookend than a syllabus. Like we get a syllabus at the beginning of the year and you look at it for maybe a week and then whoop, it's gone. So I appreciate the idea.
Yeah. So this way we know how is it going, like, because in the end our main purpose is that they learn, and we need to know that they get the information so they feel comfortable. So it's important to catch their interest. So this type of learning approach allows them to incorporate their interest to the learning process and the learning experience because it's more individual. Then determine the key concepts for units, for lessons. It's very important because we know what they need to learn, and they actually need to know what they are learning and why they are learning it. So they, as I said before, they will be more motivated to keep learning in the future. And so we need to encourage them as well. And this method, the great thing about this method is that we are teaching them a subject in a way that they are very into, because if we are doing the presentation of history through a subject that they love, they will be more interested and they will be more motivated for the next lesson. So what we are trying is mainly that. So this is like a timeline of how this method would work. We would choose an activity depending on their needs. We would choose our material to give them the lesson. Then in the second one, we will choose as well, depending on their needs, how we want to deliver the information. And then in the end, we will give the student some tools so we see if they are able to go through the lessons now and for the following year. So to keep up with this method, it's also important to plan each activity. So it's important to set a goal and an objective, materials we need, description, challenges, and the assessment. So this is something that we should plan earlier for each activity, so we know exactly what we are going to do for this kid. And so the great thing about Slidesgo is that we have plenty of templates where you can use for this type of method. It can be something great for kids with special needs, or if they are not feeling right with the common way of learning. We have plenty of templates. So for instance, I've left here a few examples. So here we have some content and activities templates. I can show them to you because we have plenty of them. So they are all very specialized. Some of them are more generic. We have tons of them about mathematics, about languages. We have planners, toolkits. We have tons of education templates on the website right now. Then we have the classroom ready presentations. These ones are very great because in these ones we collaborate with teachers and they gave us the content. And what we do is that we create the presentation depending on what they ask for. So for instance, this one was a creative writing workshop. So the content is all given to us by a teacher. so we know that the content is real. And so it looks like that all of them are different because each of them are by a different professor.
Yeah, this part is, I appreciate that this isn't turning into like a slides class webinar, but at the same time, I feel like we need to pull over and like have a little chat about slides class. Like there's a whole section of Slidesgo that is, as you said, just to underline that, they are lessons that teachers wanted visualized, wanted to share in a Slidesgo template. That, can I understand this? They wrote to Slidesgo and you all created this for them. That is like next level support. So if that is something interesting to you as an educator, visit Slides class.
Yeah, and we are also translating it into 5 languages. So it's not only in English, it's also in Spanish, in Korean, in French, and German, I think. Yeah. So as well, we have the student portfolios. We don't have plenty of them, but we are working on them. So it's important also to mention them. We have the drawing templates, coloring pages, and cuttable templates. These ones are more focused on printable. So, so this one, for instance, is one that you can actually print, and you have the space, so you can. Oh, it's not charging right now. But you have the space and you can draw, and it's more funny because it's not just a plain white spread.
Super cute.
Yeah. Then we have the coloring pages that they were actually something new to the website. So you can just print it and color. It's very easy. For pre-K, I think that it's one of the best presentations that we have. And as well, we have the cuttable ones, same as the other ones. You can do it. I don't know why my internet's going fuzzy.
I'm sorry. I'm glad that we were able to see what we were able to see up to this point.
Yeah, so it's like this in the miniature. Okay, so this is more printable focused presentation. Then we have letters, worksheets, and multiple choice questions. Same with this, as we are saying earlier, these are templates that can be useful for kids with special needs to deliver the information or to get the information from them. We have from high school, middle school. Also, we have the letter templates that they are not showing, sorry. And then the worksheets. We have more worksheets than any other thing. These ones are very funny because some of them are very well done, so you can print them. They are already set up, so you can print them and you can work on them. You don't need to edit the content. So these ones are great. And so that would be all for me. If you have any question.
Yeah, if there's any questions, we can ask them now. I think you might even just be able to unmute yourself. And if not, and you happen to be watching this in a recording, we'd love to know what you think and hear your questions in the YouTube comments. Thank you so much, Carmen, for delivering this. I know that this is a method that you learned when you went to a conference and you heard some experts in the space speaking on it. And I think that it just really speaks to your role and like how much you care about supporting educators in the classroom, that you all came back and made these resources that would support this method. Claudia, too. I'm really excited. And if you happen to be inspired by what you've seen today and use one of these resources, tell us about it. Join the Slidesgo educator community and share in the gallery that we have specifically for seeing what you make. It would be really fantastic to see those. Thanks for joining. And I really hope to see some of you next week. We're being joined by somebody I'm going to keep secret, actually. But she's a big deal in the space, and she has some incredible tips to share on how she engages her classroom. She was a second grade teacher for 8 years, how she engages her classroom with slides and presentations. Thank you all. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and see you next time.
Bye.